In a distant, ancient land, nestled between mist-covered mountains and deep emerald forests, there was a small village called Eldergrove. The village was known for its timeless beauty, with cobblestone streets, stone cottages, and fields of wild flowers that stretched as far as the eye could see. It was a place where legends and magic intertwined, and where the wisdom of the old was passed down through generations. In this village lived a young girl named Ginnie. Orphaned at a young age, Ginnie was raised by the village elders, who cared for her as best they could. Despite their kindness, Ginnie often felt lost and alone. She longed for something more, something that would give her life purpose and meaning. But Ginnie struggled with staying focused on anything for long. Her days were spent wandering the village, starting tasks only to abandon them halfway through, her heart restless and her mind unfocused. One evening, as the villagers gathered around a crackling fire to share stories, an elder spoke of an ancient garden hidden deep within the forest. This garden, known as the Garden of Determination, was said to be a place of great power and beauty. According to legend, the garden could only be tended by someone with a pure heart and unwavering discipline. It was said that the garden's caretaker would gain wisdom and strength beyond measure, that those who lacked discipline would be turned away, unable to find the garden at all. As Ginnie listened, she felt a stirring in her heart. Could this be the purpose she had been searching for? As she lay in bed that night, Ginnie couldn't stop thinking about the garden.
What if I could find it? What if this is my chance to prove I'm not just a lost, wandering girl?
Determined to find the garden and prove herself worthy, Ginnie set out the next morning, following the elders' vague descriptions and the whispers of the forest. Ginnie's journey was not easy. The forest was vast and filled with challenges that tested her resolve. She had to navigate treacherous paths and cross swift rivers. But for the first time in her life, Ginnie felt a sense of determination. As she pushed forward, she found herself thinking,
I've come this far. I can't turn back now. What if this is my only chance?
After days of wandering, Ginnie finally found herself standing before an ancient, ivy-covered gate. Beyond it lay the most enchanting garden she had ever seen. The air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of birdsong filled the air. In the center of the garden stood a large, shimmering fountain, its water glowing with a soft, ethereal light. As Ginnie stepped through the gate, she noticed an elderly woman tending to the garden. The woman moved with grace and precision, her every action filled with purpose. Her long silver hair flowed down her back, and her eyes sparkled with wisdom and warmth. Ginnie knew at once that this was Serafina, the legendary caretaker of the garden.
Welcome, Ginnie. I have been expecting you.
Ginnie was taken aback.
You know who I am.
The garden knows all who seek it, but only those who are truly ready will find their way here. You have shown great determination in reaching this place. If you wish to tend this garden, you must learn the art of discipline.
Ginnie eagerly agreed to stay and learn from Serafina, though she had no idea how difficult the path ahead would be. The work was demanding and required a level of focus that Ginnie had never known before. She learned how to plant seeds with care, how to prune the trees, and how to ensure that each flower received just the right amount of sunlight and water. It was a delicate balance, and every mistake meant starting over. At first, Ginnie struggled. She grew frustrated when her efforts didn't yield immediate results, and there were moments when she was tempted to give up.
Why is this so hard? Why can't I just get it right the first time?
But Serafina was patient, guiding her with gentle words and encouraging her to keep going.
Discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency, persistence, and learning from your mistakes.
As Ginnie internalized these lessons, she began to change. She learned to quiet her restless mind, to focus on the task at hand, and to take pride in the small victories. Day by day, the garden began to respond to her efforts. The flowers bloomed more vibrantly, the trees stood taller, and the fountain's glow became brighter. One day, as Ginny was tending to the garden, Serafina called her to the fountain.
There is one last lesson you must learn. Look into the fountain, and you will see your true self.
Ginny hesitated, unsure of what she might find. But as she gazed into the shimmering water, she saw not the uncertain, scattered girl she once was, but a strong, determined young woman. The reflection was clear and steady, a symbol of the discipline she had cultivated within herself. Tears welled up in Ginny's eyes as she realized how far she had come. The garden had not only taught her the power of discipline but had also revealed the strength that had always been within her. She understood now that discipline was not just about controlling one's actions. It was about mastering one's mind, finding peace in the process, and embracing the journey rather than rushing to the destination. As Ginny continued to care for the garden, her bond with Serafina deepened. The once difficult tasks became second nature, and the garden flourished like never before. The villagers began to notice the changes in Ginny, even though they did not know of the garden's existence. She carried herself with a quiet confidence and a sense of purpose that inspired those around her. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Serafina took Ginny's hand and led her to a hidden grove within the garden. In the center of the grove stood a large, ancient tree with branches that reached toward the heavens.
This tree is the heart of the garden. It is a symbol of all that you have learned. As long as you continue to tend to this garden with discipline and love, it will thrive, and so will you.
Ginny nodded, understanding the weight of the responsibility she had been given, but she no longer felt afraid.
I can do this. I've already come so far. I just need to keep going.
Years passed, and Ginny became known as the new caretaker of the Garden of Determination. Under Ginny's care, the garden continued to thrive, its beauty and power undiminished. If you've enjoyed Ginny's journey and want to explore more stories of transformation, growth, and magical adventures, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.